coffee in the pot. You know where everything is. Just go make yourself at home. All right, do you remember when I said, I feel like I get to this point every year. It's kind of bad. It's like I start off and I'm like, yeah, I'm gardening. I'm doing this. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the weeds get out of control. And then I have to call in the cavalry, which would be my husband, and be like, help me. The whole thing's a mess. Well, yesterday was that day. I don't even want to tell you what's happening right now or the conversations that are being had. The conversations that are being had. Literally just undoing hours of work that I did before. Like right now I'm raking up all the mulch that I put down last year that took me forever to put down. And putting it in this wheelbarrow because now we don't want mulch. I just took down the fence that I spent so much time putting up. So I went ahead and fenced in the whole garden. Probably gonna chop down all that oregano that we planted the other day. Already done like this entire area right here. I love that. It's so great. It makes me feel so happy. I have a vision. We're gonna go for it, but at the same time it's like I dig up this huge carrot before we mow everything down. Gnarly. Just pulling up the rest of these before we do it. I'll get all my carrots. I know this is like stuff. Oh, I hope it didn't get hurt. Did I hurt you? Oh, it's okay. My garden. Ah! Babe, this is the last time. This is the last time that we're ever doing the garden. Once we get it set up, this is it. We won't have to do anything next year. It'll already be done. Here's all the wood chips that we took out of the garden. Oh my goodness. So this was prompted by a few things. Number one, just like every year, the weeds got out of control. I thought that they were under control. I thought I found what was definitely going to work. We're not going to have a weed problem anymore, and it just got away from me. Second thing, fencing that I put up around the garden to keep the chickens out of the garden, we need it for the tomatoes. That's what it's for. So we need to come up with another plan for fencing. And I'm weirdly okay with all of it because, I don't know, maybe I'm just used to it by now. Spending hours and days doing something that later is just going to be dismantled, but hopefully for something better. How are you doing your garden this year? Did you do mulch? Are you doing the row garden thing? Do you have weed mats? Yeah. Junior's very excited about the tilled garden. So as you know, I operate from two different places of motivation in the garden. One is like frolicking, happy homesteader. And the other is post-apocalyptic nightmare fuel. The other day, our gas got up to $5 a gallon. $5 a gallon. We don't live in California. I live here in Kentucky, where that is unheard of. It's crazy. And it's not like I didn't see this coming. I believe we'll get up to like $8 a gallon, maybe this year, probably this year. But to see it happen, I was like, oh my gosh, it's true. It just like fueled all the thoughts of all the bad things that I have in my head. So I kicked everything into high gear, made some vegetable broth and canned that up. I picked some of the baby bok choy that had bolted and made it into, we're gonna call it a faux kimchi. 1, 2. Don't want to call it actual kimchi because people who make kimchi would laugh at it probably. And I picked mulberries. Success. Put it in the freezer. And we did the garlic scapes. What's gas at right now where you are? I know, it's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous everywhere. It is what it is, right? I'm not gonna like dwell on it. My husband has always wanted a garden that's just rows, and I'm always like, let's make these beds and let's put everything in together because it looks so good. That's what I always see on like Instagram and Pinterest. But I think this year we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a mixture. So I have a couple beds and then we're gonna put rows, and we're gonna see if the rows are easier to manage because at this point in time I got a lot going on. I cannot be out here like weeding a whole Like I come out here and weed for hours. I can't come out here and weed for hours anymore. Obviously, that's not what was happening. So that's why I need something that's easier to maintain. And the rows, that way I can just come through with a hoe and just be done with weeding and really keep it down. Okay, I'm thinking of doing something nobody likes to do. Break your heart. So now this right here, this leaf and this leaf will branch off. We'll get bushier zinnia and more flowers and longer stems. Do you want to do one? Just do it like right here. Just do it. Do it. You can do it. Don't be afraid. Do it. Yeah! Anyways, jibber jabber, blah, blah, blah. I need to go pick more mulberries. I am determined to stay on top of this for jam, for syrup, which is really just my jam when it doesn't set up, for pies, and just for eating in general. So let's do it. Oh gosh, I don't want to fall into the pond. There's more down there. Oh, I love them. I love these. These are beautiful. And they just showed up. I didn't plant these. I just want to say again, I am so glad that we dug this pond to have this lovely water reservoir in our backyard. What's that? Oh no, you see the water is so clear that it looks like there isn't any water. That's how clear it is. Here's one right here. So many berries. Okay, I want to show you this one thing that I didn't realize until last year, but it's crazy. This is also a mulberry tree. So here, this is the one we were picking from. This is the one right next to it. These are ripe. I went years not knowing that this was a ripe mulberry. There are white mulberry trees. They taste exactly like mulberries. I didn't pick these for years because I was like, man, they're not getting ripe. They're ripe. They're ripe. Here, have one. Delicious, right? Just like the others. So of course, when I saw the tree and I figured out that they were actually ripe mulberries, I had a moment in time where I knew that I had discovered a new species of berry, much like when I discovered the butterfly bee. So when I went on the onlines, turns out that other people also have these white mulberries. So maybe you have some too.